Welcome back to Bookshortz, the place where books come alive in minutes. Today we're diving into a wild and brutal sci-fi fantasy that's part reality show, part survival horror, and all-out chaos. This is Dungeon Crawler Carl by Matt Dinniman, a story where Earth is destroyed and the survivors are thrown into a deadly alien game show broadcast across the universe. It's unpredictable, hilarious, and insanely addictive. If you love gripping book summaries that hook you from the first word and leave you wanting more, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss the next story. Let's crawl into the dungeon and see how one man and his cat are about to take on the universe. Imagine waking up to find the world has ended not with fire or war, but with a game show. Not just any game show, but the most brutal, most watched, most soul-crushing intergalactic reality show in existence. This is the world Carl finds himself in when Earth is suddenly destroyed, and the few remaining survivors are forced into a twisted dungeon-crawling spectacle beamed across the cosmos for entertainment. Welcome to the first installment of Dungeon Crawler Carl by Matt Dinniman, a genre-bending thrill ride that blends dark humor, heart-pounding action, and razor-sharp satire into a story you won't be able to turn away from. Carl was just an average guy. A little grumpy, maybe a bit directionless, and definitely having a bad day when his world literally exploded. When the countdown ended and the planet went boom, Carl and his ex-girlfriend's cat, Princess Donut, were somehow among the lucky few, who made it into the mysterious towers that served as safe zones. But the reprieve was short-lived. The towers weren't sanctuaries. They were the opening level of a dungeon. A level Carl and every other survivor would be forced to fight their way through for a chance at survival and a fat stack of intergalactic fame or death. Probably death. But here's the twist. The entire dungeon-crawling nightmare is a reality show. It's run by a galactic media empire with alien sponsors, obsessive fans, and brutal ratings to maintain. Every floor is broadcast live to trillions of viewers across the universe. Every kill, every scream, every decision Carl makes is entertainment. And the players? They're not just fighting monsters. They're fighting each other. They're playing to the audience. They're gaming the system. And Carl, armed with sarcasm, a mysterious loot system, and the world's sassiest cat, is about to become the unlikeliest star of them all. The dungeon is not your typical fantasy game. This isn't just about swinging swords or casting spells. It's a procedurally generated nightmare fueled by chaos and blood. Floors shift, monsters evolve, alliances crumble, and the rules change constantly. Some floors look like medieval towns, others like post-apocalyptic war zones or twisted carnival funhouses. The dungeon is alive in its own way, feeding off the drama and destruction of its contestants. And behind it all are the mysterious dungeon masters, alien overseers with too much power and not nearly enough empathy. Carl quickly realizes that this isn't just about surviving. It's about playing the game. The dungeon crawler system gives him abilities, skills, and loot, but the real edge is how he uses them. The smarter the move, the better the rewards. But that also means taking risks, making alliances, and learning to navigate the ever-changing meta of the show. With every floor, Carl becomes more than just a survivor. He becomes a contender, a crawler, a wildcard that the producers can't quite control and the viewers can't get enough of. Princess Donut, yes, the cat, isn't just comic relief. When she eats a mysterious treat early on, she becomes a talking, sentient, magic-wielding feline, with her own fan base and more diva energy than a dozen pop stars. Donut's presence adds both humor and heart to the chaos. Her dynamic with Carl is pure gold. Sarcastic banter, protective instincts, and occasional bouts of genuine affection that remind us there's still something human and real in this insane new world. One of the most fascinating parts of Dungeon Crawler Carl is how it balances humor with horror. One moment you're laughing at Carl's snarky commentary, or Donut's ridiculous demands for jewels and fish. The next, you're recoiling from a gruesome trap or a monstrous enemy tearing someone apart. Matt Dinniman doesn't pull punches. The dungeon is brutal. People die, sometimes horribly, sometimes pointlessly. But Carl's resilience and refusal to let go of his humanity keep the tone from tipping into despair. You root for him not just to survive, but to stick it to the system. As Carl climbs higher through the dungeon, he starts to uncover the deeper layers of the game. This isn't just about entertainment. There are secrets buried in the code of the system. The aliens running. The show have agendas, the audience has power, and the dungeon itself might be something older and darker than anyone realizes. Carl's journey becomes more than survival. It's about rebellion, about tearing down the sick spectacle from the inside, and maybe, just maybe, saving what's left of humanity along the way. What makes Dungeon Crawler Carl stand out is how immersive and unpredictable it is. The world is constantly shifting. The stakes are always rising. The characters evolve in believable and surprising ways. Carl isn't a perfect hero. He swears, he panics, he screws up. But he learns. He adapts. He fights. And through it all, he keeps his sense of humor, often the only thing standing between him and complete mental collapse. Supporting characters add even more flavor to the chaos. Some are allies. Some are enemies. Most are just trying to survive, long enough to reach the next floor. But each one is memorable. There's Killer Carl, a murderous lunatic who becomes a twisted mirror of our hero. There's Terry, the snail-summoning janitor with secrets. There's the mysterious donut fan. Club and the aliens who bet fortunes on player deaths. Each encounter adds depth to the world and raises the emotional stakes. Dinniman's writing style is fast-paced, cinematic, and filled with vivid detail. You can practically see the blood splatter, feel the tension in the air, hear the cheering alien fans, and smell the desperation. He masterfully juggles action, comedy, horror, and character development without ever losing momentum. Every chapter ends with a punch. Every reveal makes you want to keep reading, or in this case, keep watching or listening. At its core, Dungeon Crawler, Carl is a savage critique of reality, TV, gaming culture, celebrity worship, and the commodification of suffering. But it's also wildly fun. It's a roller coaster through a world where every choice matters and every mistake could be your last. It's about friendship forged in fire and a stubborn refusal to quit even when the game is rigged. The audiobook version brings even more life to the story. The narration captures Carl's dry wit and Donut's haughty indignation perfectly. It pulls you in, makes you care, and keeps you hooked from start to finish. Whether you're a fan of LitRPGs, dystopian stories, or just love a good underdog tale, with heart, this is one audiobook that deserves your attention. By the time Carl reaches the final levels of the first book, he's no longer just a participant. He's a threat. The audience loves him. The sponsors fear him. The dungeon masters want him dead. But Carl, he's just getting started. The deeper he goes, the more dangerous the game becomes. And if there's one thing we've learned by the end of book 1, it's that you should never underestimate a man with nothing left to lose and a cat who thinks she's royalty. Dungeon Crawler Carl is more than just a dungeon crawl. It's a bold, brutal, hilarious look at what happens when humanity is pushed to the brink and chooses to fight back with toothclaw and sarcasm. It's the kind of story that grabs you by the collar, drags you through blood-soaked arenas, and still leaves you laughing. It's addictive, unpredictable, and impossible to ignore. So if you're looking for your next audiobook obsession, something that will make you laugh out loud while clenching your fists in tension, then Dungeon Crawler Carl is your ticket. Welcome to the crawl. It's deadly, it's insane, and it's the best show in the universe. Don't change the channel. If you want to listen full audiobook for free, link in description. Thank you.